Hey, what's going on? This is Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Quis, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Knicks and what they could potentially do this offseason. Now, Ian Begley dropped an article, and he talked about 3 point guards the Knicks currently have their eyes on. The first two are players that we already have heard the Knicks be linked to. That's going to be Dennis Schroder and Lonzo Ball. And now the third player that Begley is mentioning now is Kyle Lowry. Now, Kyle Lowry is someone that fans have kind of been discussing whether the Knicks should pursue. And to see that the Knicks front office is also considering it as well, to me is kind of interesting. In this video, I'm going to just, break down what I think about each player, and I want to hear some feedback from you guys. Which point guard do you think would be the best fit for us? And also, where would you rank them in terms of who we should target in priority? So the first point guard that we're going to be looking at is Dennis Schroder. I have Dennis Schroder's stats up. He's averaging 15.5 points per game for the season, 5.8 assists, and 3.5 rebounds. Now, Dennis Schroder is a solid point guard. Me personally, I just don't think he's the best fit for us. I don't think he's the type of point guard we need. Yes, he's a bucket getter. He can go out there and get you a basket. But I think the Knicks need someone that can facilitate, run the offense, and get others involved. I really don't think that Dennis Schroder fits that mold for us. When people say that the point guard position is evolving and a lot of these point guards are more so looking for their own shot, I understand that. But if we're going to have somebody and pair them with Julius Randle that's going to play that type of basketball, then I think the player is going to have to be better than Dennis Schroder if you want us to be legitimate, title contenders in the future. I just don't see a team led by Dennis Schroder and Julius Randle really pushing us far in the playoffs. And the reason I'm saying that is because Dennis Schroder turned down a pretty lucrative contract extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. So if we go out there and try to bring him in on a 4-year deal in excess of 25, 26, even $30 million, we're not going to have the cap space to really build around a Julius Randle and Dennis Schroder. So if we go and make that move, you're telling me those are going to be our cornerstone pieces, and that's who we're going to build around. So to me, I don't think Dennis Schroder is the right piece. If he were to be available maybe at a cheaper price, maybe $10, $15 million a year, maybe even, 18, I would consider it a little bit more. But based on his price tag, he's a player that I would not want the Knicks to go out there and target personally. Now, the next player is another player that I've discussed previously on this channel, and a player that I like a lot, and that's going to be Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball in his 4th season has gone out there and really become a better version of himself. He's knocking down 3-point shots more effectively. As you can see, averaging 14.6 points per game, 5.7 assists per game, 4.8 rebounds per game. And I think the issue that some people have with Lonzo Ball is the fact that Lonzo Ball over in New Orleans isn't necessarily on ball for the most part. They got Zion running the offense, and then they got Lonzo operating off ball in a lot of catch and shoot situations. But if you look at the way the Knicks operate, we flow a lot of our offense through Julius Randle. So to insert Lonzo Ball into the starting lineup next to Julius Randle, it really won't throw much off, and it's going to allow us to have a better 3-point shooter out there on the court, as opposed to what we have now with Elfrid Payton in the starting lineup. I think Elfrid Payton is averaging right around 29% from 3. And, Lonzo Ball has been on a tear this season from 3. So I think he'd be able to flourish in a lot of catch and shoot situations with Julius Randle on the court. And then when you're going to give Julius Randle a breather, you can still have Lonzo Ball run the offense and facilitate the players like Obi and also the players like Mitch when they're in the lineup together. So with Lonzo Ball, I think you get a nice combination of size. You get the combination of a player that can knock down 3-point shots. And you also have a player that can both play two guard positions for you. Gives you a lot of flexibility. When you look at the other guards on our lineup, I mean, on our team, on our roster, you can see how Lonzo Ball can fit beside either one of them. You got Derrick Rose, who we're probably going to re-sign in the offseason. Lonzo Ball can definitely play off of a Derrick Rose. You have Emmanuel Quickley, another guard in our second unit. Lonzo Ball can play beside Emmanuel Quickley, both on ball, or if he allows Emmanuel Quickley to get into his pick and roll sets, he can be another shooter out there to kind of space the floor. So Lonzo Ball is a player I like, and I think if you were to, have me rank them, Lonzo Ball would be the highest on my list. And the player that was most recently linked to the Knicks is going to be Kyle Lowry. Now, Kyle Lowry, I think, is interesting when you look at his age. He's older than a lot of the other guards that we have been looked at or that have been linked to the Knicks. And it's very interesting because Lowry is a championship winning point guard. He's a veteran. He's a hound out there on defense, whether that be him drawing fouls or getting steals, things of that nature. I think Kyle Lowry fits well with what Tibbs' mindset is as a coach. So I think with that connection, I won't say connection, but with the fact that Kyle Lowry fits so well with what Tom Thibodeau likes to do, I think it is very interesting. The thing for me, though, with Kyle Lowry is it's going to have to be at the right price. I don't know if I would want to pay Kyle Lowry, at 35, 36 years old, anything more than what maybe a Fred VanVleet or a Malcolm Brogdon got. Even less, I probably only want to bring in Lowry for maybe a $15, $18 million and maybe on a 2-year deal. That way he can be somewhat of a bridge, a point guard, for whoever we may decide to draft in the upcoming NBA draft. So Kyle Lowry, like I said, he's interesting as a potential fit. It's just when it comes to his age, he's not really at the same trajectory or at the same area in his career as to where the Knicks are in their development cycle. So that's the only thing that would, throw me off. Just how much are you going to pay Kyle Lowry? And with what you're going to pay him, is it going to take away from continuing to build around the young core that we have on this team? Another player that, was linked to the Knicks earlier in, last offseason would be Mike Conley. And I think he fits a similar mold with a Kyle Lowry, an older veteran point guard that still, will play solid defense, someone that can initiate the offense, run the team, be a facilitator, and help get some of our bigs a little bit more involved on the offensive side. So, for those reasons, I like Kyle Lowry, and I'm also going to throw in Mike Conley as like a extra player that some fans may want to look out for to see if the Knicks do decide to bring in a more veteran, defensive-minded point guard to kind of give any point guard we draft some proper tutelage. I think that would be a perfect way to go. It would be similar to like in football where you draft a quarterback, or like Patrick Mahomes, they drafted a quarterback, let him sit behind Alex Smith, and then they gave him the reins. We could do something similar with a Kyle Lowry, bring him in on a cheap 2-year deal, and then when he's ready to retire, you have the heir apparent waiting. So you guys, let me know what you think. How would you rate or rank these point guards in terms of who the Knicks should target? Are you fans of any of the point guards that have been linked to the Knicks, or do you think we should go out there and try to acquire someone else? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Once again, if you're not subscribed, now would be a great time to do so. I'm Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.